Hi, guys. How are you all doing? Welcome to the tennis world with a tennis expert. I am your tennis expert. I'd like to give a nice warm welcome to my viewers right around the world. We're ready to preview the 2024 Wimbledon. So I'm just here for that. So I hope you guys are going to get excited. I hope you guys are all excited about Wimbledon, wherever you are in the world. So, guys, let's preview Wimbledon 2024. Let me go to the draw, all right? First, let's look at Sinner's part of the draw. He's got Kaufman in the first round. He'll be too powerful, too consistent, straight sets. Berrettini in the second round or Fucsovics, that's a tough one, but I think Berrettini with the big serve and power game and Sinner, they're doing the same things. Sinner's a bit better defensively and a bit more consistent, and he's been playing a lot more and winning more, so he'll just be too good. Probably straight sets. Berrettini might blow him off the court with power, win a set. Griekspoor, again, consistency, power, overpower Griekspoor. Then he'll move through to the fourth round, Sinner, where he'll play Dimitrov. I mean, Dimitrov could be a little bit tough, but yeah, like they'll do the same thing with a big serve, a reasonably big serve, power game, reasonable to goodish defense. But Sinner's just going to do all those things a bit better and win in 3 to 4 sets. Then he'll move through to the quarterfinals, where he would play Medvedev, and Medvedev hasn't done anything. I don't even know if he'll play it, if he'll get there. Let's look at some of the other guys that could get there in that part of the draw, like maybe Manarino's there. There's not really anyone that good, so let's just say Medvedev. Sinners destroys Medvedev lately, except for the Australian Open, where he was down 2-0 and nervous to win his first Grand Slam. But he's got a bigger serve than Medvedev, more power in the rallies. He just controls Medvedev in the rallies and then comes into the net and finishes. He's constantly overpowering Medvedev, constantly pushing him around, and then can just finish off at the net or with a slam. And he's just going to be too much. Medvedev may get a set. Maybe. He may get a set. But they're both going to play with consistency, but Sinner's going to have more power. He's going to push him around. And they're overpowering Medvedev and pushing him around. And if he needs to come in the net or slam overhead, he'll do that, and he'll make the semifinals. Let's look at Alcaraz as part of the draw. He's got Lejao, whoever he is, but I don't know, familiar, but a qualifier. But he'll beat him in straight sets. Then he'll probably have Vucic, the Australian. He's going to overpower him and do a very good job and be too consistent and then win that. And then in the quarterfinals, they'll have Tiafoe. I mean, like, Tiafoe sort of plays a bit similar than Alcaraz, but Alcaraz has got more power, more consistency, better defense. Tiafoe will not challenge him, and Alcaraz will do everything better. Then as we move through to the round of 16, he's got Humbert. Again, Herbert will try to attack and rush him, but too much. He'll return his serve. He'll force him into rallies, and he'll out-rally him. And, he'll force Herbert into rallies, and he'll either push him around in those rallies, or Herbert will go for too much power, too close to the line and make errors. Or I will see Alcaraz just move him around the rally. On Alcaraz serve, it's the 1-2 punch serve plus forehand. Then in the quarterfinals, Casper Ruud. Well, Ruud is terrible on grass. He might not make it. Let's just assume he does. The They both depend on the forehand, but Alcaraz probably has an even better forehand. And then but they're close, but everything outside that backhand, Alcaraz is way better. For Ruud, the backhand's a weakness. Speed and defense, they do the same. And then things like the drop shot, net play, all these intangibles, Alcaraz is better. But the main thing is Alcaraz is matching Ruud's strength on the forehand, matching his defense, but getting over the top with the backhand and things like drop shots and net play. So Ruud may get a set, but let's just say 3 or 4 sets for Alcaraz. So now I've got a Sinner Alcaraz semi-final. Let's go and look at the other side of the draw and get our 2 semi-finalists. Let's get our 2 semi-finalists there. Okay, guys, here we go. I'll start with Djokovic on this side of the draw. Djokovic is in Provia. Can't even pronounce it, but he'll win that. Yeah, Djokovic, he's had injuries, but he looks like he's healthy. We've got to assume he said he's not going to play unless he's got the health to win it. The draw's out. He said he would give it to someone else. He's playing, and this is one of his best Grand Slams. And as far as being older and tired of grass, you can shorten the points and reduce the age factor. So, yeah, he'll win this first round. Second round, he'll have a wild card or a clay quarter from Spain, Moro Cananas. He'll win that in straight sets. Then Echeverry gets a clay quarter, who's 30 in the world. I mean, that's the easiest draw you could want. Straight sets again. Just Djokovic will overpower him in the rallies. Then Rune, this could be a tough one. Rune's been a bit up and down, but he's challenged Djokovic in the past. The only thing is we don't know about grass, but he made, I believe, the quarterfinals last year. So this could be a tough one, but I'm going to say 4 sets, maybe even 5, but I'll say 4 for Djokovic. He'll just do everything a bit better and be a bit more consistent and better mentally, and Rune might lose it in a few big moments. Then we're going to move into the quarterfinals. I'm going to say he's going to have Hubert Hurkacz. This again, it could be 4 or 5 sets. Big serve, rush him, power game on the grass. But I think Djokovic's return will be too good. He'll force Hubert Hurkacz into too many rallies on his serve and then be able to move him around, out-rally him, or Hubert Hurkacz has to go for too much power near the lines and make errors. So that puts Djokovic into the semi-finals. Let's look quickly. Rublev and that other quarter to see who plays Djokovic in the semi-final will come down to a Rublev-Zverev, even though Zverev's not done anything on grass before. Like, I'm really going to go and I'm going to say, like, guys, like, sorry about that. I'm really going to go and I'm really going to say in this, so what was it? Yeah, Rublev and Zverev, right? I just think, Zverev's been playing very well lately. He made the French Open final. He's never done well on grass, but he's got a big serve and a power game, and the big serve really suits a fast surface. So I think the fact that he's played well on clay and the fact that he's got a big serving power game that suits grass, he could really catch fire here, Zverev. And I think the type of player Rublev doesn't do well is when you can overpower him and rush him with the serve and the power game and not give him time to set up and get into a rally and play his power game and move the opponent around, right? I think Zverev could do that, could rush him with his power game, his serve, and the fast court, and beat Rublev in 4 sets. So I've got the top 4 seeds now in the semi-final: Djokovic, Zverev, and Sinner Alcaraz, right? Now, this might be a bit of a conspiracy, But I've noticed that Federer was the guy getting all the best draws until around 2019, 2020. Then when his peak ended, it seems like Djokovic is getting the best draws. So to me, they say the draws are random, but it seems like the tennis establishment pick a player, they like him, and he gets the better draws. Like whenever there's a situation where there's three good players, and the question in the draw is like, two guys are going to be on one side of the draw and you want to be on the other side of the draw on your own. So the three favorites everybody would acknowledge would be Alcaraz, Sinner, Alcaraz and Sinner, and then Djokovic. Well, Alcaraz and Sinner are on the other side of the draw. Same way in the French Open, same way. And why is it the draw the same all the time? Like, we should think about that. Like, why is it always Alcaraz and Sinner on one side and Djokovic on the other? And before it was about Alcaraz, Sinner, if there were two other guys, they were always on the other side of the draw. Djokovic is usually on his own with all the contenders on the other side of the draw. And it keeps happening. If it's random, we've got to question, why is the draw always making it easier for Djokovic? So I don't have any proof of this, but I'm just going to say logically, if it was 50-50, you would have Djokovic has a 50% chance of being on his own side of the draw or having either Alcaraz or Sinner on his draw. So at the French Open, it should be one way, it's another. It's like a coin flip. But the coin keeps falling Djokovic's side. So we've got to wonder, what's that about? But anyway, I don't have evidence, but I just say, like, statistically, it's 50-50. Statistically, it's like a coin that you flip that always lands Djokovic's side. The question is why? Is there something to this, or is he just the luckiest guy in the world? I guess we can't know, but I can say it looks like something's happening to benefit him. And before, when Federer was the main guy, it was benefiting him. So anyway, it is what it is. So let's look at these semifinals now. Sinner against Alcaraz. Like, these guys went to 5 sets at the French Open. You got to understand their matchup changes on grass because all the things that Alcaraz is good are accentuated on clay. Like, he's much faster with the defense, and the slow court makes it very hard for you to get past him and finish points. And that speed and then the slower court giving him even more time to get to balls, his advantage on the speed over Sinner, the clay accentuates. But Sinner's advantage, like a big serve and a power game, but mostly the big serve. On clay, the serve doesn't matter much. So that's taken away Sinner's advantages. But now on the grass court, having a big serve matters a lot, and it's a huge advantage. So Sinner having a bigger serve will matter for so much more here than it did at the French Open. And then Alcaraz's advantages, like being faster with the speed and defense, that's taken away because the ball's going fast through the court. It's harder to get through balls. And even if you're fast, you can't really get to balls as much. And the balls are just going to go fast through the court, and they're going to go faster than you can run. So your speed is going to be taken away and limited. But having a big serve through the fast court, that's going to be a big thing. Whereas in the clay court match was the opposite. The speed was a huge thing and the serve wasn't. Now the serve is going to matter a lot and the speed is going to be not. So on the clay, it accentuates all Alcaraz's qualities and hurts all Sinner's. But on the grass, it helps Sinner's and hurts Alcaraz. And Sinner just has to get one set better to win this match, because even when the conditions were the worst for him and best for Alcaraz, it was still a 5th set and he was still up 2-1. He only needs to be a bit better. But Alcaraz's speed being limited, how important it was, and Sinner's serve being now very important, I think that makes him get at least 1 set better, maybe more. But I'm going to say Sinner's going to win this in 4 sets. His serve, his attacking game is going to be rewarded. The fact that Alcaraz is a bit faster than him, that's not going to matter because it's going to be attacking first strike tennis. All these qualities are going to be helped, and he was almost good enough to even beat Alcaraz on the clay. So he's going to do this. He's going to, with his serve, he's more of an attacking game, getting more reward from his serve, getting hurt less for not being as fast as Alcaraz. They're not going to matter much, and his serve and power game are going to matter. He's going to improve more than a set on Roland Garros because of that, and Alcaraz is going to be like his speed's not going to be a factor. The fact that he doesn't serve the way as Sinner, that's going to hurt him. And all it needs to do is change a set. I say it changes 2 sets. And also the fact that Alcaraz needs time to set up on the forehand. He's going to be a bit rushed on the faster court. So all of those factors, I'm going to say Sinner wins it in 4 with the serve, the power game, rushing Alcaraz on the forehand. Same type of thing, but all of the advantages for Sinner are helped by this court and all Alcaraz's are hurt. So 4 sets, Sinner with a power game, attacking game, and not affected much by his speed because it's about first strike tennis on the fast court. So Sinner wins this in 4 sets. Other semifinals, Zverev, Djokovic. Yes, Zverev is playing well. Yes, his game will suit this court, but against Djokovic, the mental thing, and then Djokovic returning so well, getting his serve back into play, forcing him into rallies, moving around, exposing his lack of movement. Zverev going for too much power near the lines, making errors. And then the mental side, Djokovic, for all these reasons, going to win in 4 sets. Then we're now down to the final, Sinner versus Novak Djokovic. I just think Djokovic, he may be playing at a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. It's been enough to beat all these opponents and get to the final. But now Jannik Sinner, the player who's been the best player this year, I think grass is going to be his best Grand Slam in his career. His best results happen on fast indoor courts and the most fastest outdoor court, the Australian Open, maybe other than Cincinnati. That speed. And then when you look at what he's done at Wimbledon, years ago, before he was anywhere like this good. What did Sinner do? He, in the quarterfinals, 2022, he had Djokovic down 2 sets to love. He wasn't the player he was now, but mentally. And then last year, it was straight sets, but they were all close sets by a few points. But he's a way better player, and this is his best year, and he's unstoppable on all surfaces. But the very fast courts is where he's done well even this year. He's done well in Wimbledon in the past when he was nothing like the player that he was now. And I just think in this year where Sinner's unstoppable, on these fast indoor and grass courts going to be the best courts for his game. And you're getting the best player on his ideal surface, just on his best year, best surface, everything's ideal. But for Djokovic, he's not won anything this year. He's faced challenges. And then, like, having a bad year, winning nothing, not having the confidence, not being in a final, now coming off an injury. Sure, he's been able to find ways to win to get to this final. But when it's the most elite level, playing a guy who's on fire, dominating this year and playing on his best surface, Djokovic at 37 years of age, coming off an injury in a year where he's looked old and tired. Even 2 years ago when Djokovic was way better, Sinner was nothing like this. Djokovic got down 2 sets to love against Sinner on this court. But Sinner's way better than that. Djokovic is not as good. And Djokovic is older and Djokovic is coming off a surgery. So I just think Sinner with the better serve through this fast grass court, he's going to use that to start points ahead, get control of the points, and then he's going to have more power on the ground strokes than Djokovic, so he's going to be controlling rallies, and he's going to have the power. The one thing Djokovic has on him is speed and defense, but with the age and with the surgery, that's going to be limited, and on the fast court, Sinner will have the power to finish points and get through this fast grass court and finish points. So he'll have the better serve, for which you'll get more out of that on this court, and this will mean a lot. And then you have more power on the ground strokes, and those ground strokes will go through the fast court. And with Djokovic aging and the knee thing and a fast court and all the power Sinner has, it's going to be very hard for Djokovic. And I just think everything is ideal for Sinner, the year, the court, the confidence, everything. But for Djokovic, it's a rough year coming off surgery. He's still going to produce a decent level, but not to beat a peak Sinner on his ideal surface. Sinner will overpower him with the serve and having more power on the ground strokes and control the points. And Djokovic will fight. He won't want to go in straight sets. He'll win a set. It'll be 4 close sets, probably about 4 hours. But again, the serve and the power game and getting a lot out of this on the fast grass court, Sinner overpowers Djokovic with more power on the serve and the ground strokes, and his defense not mattering because it's about attacking on this fast grass court. But even if it did, Djokovic at this age with all the injuries, his speed's not going to be much better than Sinner anyway, but it's going to be attacking game, serve and power on the ground strokes. Sinner's going to have more power on both of those. He's going to control the points, and he's going to beat Djokovic in 4 sets, but Djokovic is still going to fight and battle all the way and get a set and make the other sets close. But Sinner's going to win this in 4 sets. Everything is favoring Jannik Sinner to take this tournament out. He's been unstoppable. He's been on fire. Clay is his worst surface. All the hard courts at the start of the year, he was completely unstoppable. It's only since we moved to clay he's not been in complete domination. But now his ideal courts will be indoors, grass, and maybe the Australian Open. And he's got that in his best year. And Alcaraz, you know, he's got a problem in that, like, this will be one of his worst courts. He's got all the pressure and expectation of, first of all, you won the last Grand Slam. And now you're expected to win stuff because you just won the French Open. Second of all, you won this tournament last year. So when you can say the last Grand Slam we played this year, I won it. And the last time we went to Wimbledon, I won it. That's all this pressure and expectation. There's all this pressure and there's all this expectation. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's all this pressure and there's all this expectation, right, on Alcaraz. And then to do it on a court that doesn't suit his game, when you've just won the last Grand Slam and now you're expected to win, you're the defending champion here, it's too much pressure, it's too much expectation. Do you get what I'm saying? And then for Djokovic having a bad year, not being what he was, and that was even before the injury. Now you're coming back from a surgery. But Sinner, it's his best year. He's dominating everything. He only slowed down a bit because it's clay and that doesn't suit his game. And now he's back to the courts that he wants. Ideal surface. A year that he's dominating, ideal year and ideal surface. He should take this. Everything is ideal for Sinner to win. Someone is asking me about the last time they met. The last time they met 2 years ago, Djokovic was much younger, much better. He was nowhere near on the level that he is now, about not even making a final. And Sinner, the way he's dominated this year, he wasn't even a contender 2 years ago. So when you add up such a massive change, Djokovic going down, Sinner up, and Sinner was close to winning that anyway. That's another reason, just seeing when Djokovic was in so much more of a better place on this surface, and Sinner was nowhere near in this place. And Sinner, just because he was young and didn't have the mental side to finish. No, but so much has changed. Sinner's so much better. Djokovic is much worse. With Alcaraz, he just needs to improve a set on clay, and grass helps him a lot. But with Djokovic from 2022, again, he needs to improve a set, and he's way better, and Djokovic is way worse. So those are his two contenders. Alcaraz has got all the pressure and expectation. And then Djokovic has the fact that he's having a bad year, he's looking older, and that was before the surgery. But then for Sinner, it's just, this is my best year, and this is probably going to be my best surface, so he's going to win this thing. So what I'm trying to say is Sinner will be your 2024 Wimbledon champion. That's my video for today. Subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. Let's just say it's Friday now. The quarterfinals Tuesday, Wednesday. So in about a week and a half, the second week of Wimbledon, come back for my quarterfinal preview the day before the quarterfinals, and then the day before the semifinals, and the day before the final. I'm going to do 3 more videos during this, but come back in sort of around Tuesday in about a week and a half from now, right before the quarterfinals. I'll preview the quarterfinals. So be back in a week and a half for my quarterfinal video. Subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up, and see you guys in a week and a half from now, and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe, and bye for now. Thanks for being with me.